Where did you go from Vienna?
From Vienna in January 45, a couple of young people, they sent us by train to Santa Anna am Eigen on the border on Yugoslavia in Austria for Schanz work. How do you say Schanz work? Digging ditches for against, because the Russians, we didn't know it, the Russians came closer. And I tell you frankly, on the train, we were treated like almost civilians, but about 2 weeks we had freedom there, because not too many people were there in the school. And the people helped us, gave us food, and I never forget it, I wanted to be alone. I went in the Catholic Church alone, and I get to talk to God and all my problems. And then, after 2 weeks, 2 battalions of munkaszolgálatos came, and they put in the same school. They were forced labor, Hungarian, who worked forced labor camps in Hungary. They came and they were loaded with lice.
Here you still lived with men and women together?
No, here they were only men. Here only men. Now, then they decided they would take us in the forest. They put up some tents in the forest. Here comes a story. We were in tents, and we had to be watchmen because no one should escape. I remember I was with Joe Wigner, one of my members, a young man, not young man, he was elder than me, a watchman, until 4 o'clock at night. And then 4 o'clock we went back to the tent. 6 o'clock the SS came in and took us all out and selected some people. And then they took us to a grave. They shot some from each tent, one or two people. We have to watch it. And one of my best friends, a Diane from Debrecen, we prepared for Pesach something from the field. He was shot, and another, and then started the march next evening. Erev Pesach started, eve of Pesach. Then, because the Russians came close, we marched, and then it came, other battalions joined us.
Why did they shoot these people?
Because 2 escaped from two escaped from the tents.
So then you marched where?
We, on the highways from Austria, we went through, I remember, yeah.
You were in Yugoslavia?
Austria, yeah.
And from there you marched?
We marched inside in Austria. I remember we went through Leoben in Steiermark, where I was, as I was a seminary student. I had an uncle there. I was 1 month before the Anschluss there. And then through Graz, and then on the highways, Eisenerz. At night we had to sleep on the snow. No food. I remember I marched together with György, István György. He was a bank director in Szolnok. The brother was a renowned doctor in Budapest, and the other brother was in the parliament. And we talked about food the whole night. And next morning we had to march. If people couldn't march, then they shot them. 2 of my friends, close friends, one was a pharmacist, Sarkadi in Orosháza, the other was Dr. Benjamin, a lawyer from Békés Csaba. They shot them. They said it was enough, we don't want to go. And I have to tell you, during Eisenerz, the Austrians were on the border of the highway with rifles to shoot us when we drink water or we go. And they use the machine guns randomly. The blood flow on the highway like water, human blood. I made about 800 kilometers without.
How many people were on this line?
A couple of thousand. A long, long, long line.
And how long this march lasted?
It lasted, I don't remember, weeks. And in the evening, they gave us a carrot, how do you say,
Sugar beet.
sugar beet for 40 people. And on the road, maybe we ate some snakes. Snakes. And I picked up some grass, but in the evening they gave us this sugar. And then we marched. I made approximately 800 kilometers. Since then, I don't like to walk.
Where did you wind up?
In Mauthausen. Mauthausen, yeah.
What happened in Mauthausen?
In Mauthausen, we were put in some tents or what. I remember I met the Shoah, the slaughterer from my city where I was born. He was, I didn't recognize him because I didn't have a beard. We were there a couple of days, and suddenly at night the Spitfires or Liberators came and bombed Mauthausen, killed a lot of, not only Jews, Germans, and we saw the heads and arms flowing in the air. And then they said we have to leave, and we marched maybe a week or so, I don't remember how long, to Gunskirchen. Gunskirchen was even worse than Mauthausen because it was raining. And it was raining all the time. It was all springtime. And we were like herrings there. And I never forget it. One of my hostage friend, Dr. Laszlo from Pazmany, fell on my shoulder, and he asked me forgive me when he was awaking. I carried corpse, and once accidentally somebody hit me. Accidentally my glass broke, and I was without glass. Corpse in piles like thousands. And May the 5th happened, Friday afternoon, without Mincha and Marev, this prayer book I had. And suddenly said, cannons, and the Americans are here. And we stopped the prayer, and we went for food. And the Americans came, but some people ate too much and died. And
where did this food come from?
They went to the German warehouses. I remember I asked, a group of people ate there, bread and other things. Give me a piece of bread, give me a piece of bread. And margarine they didn't have. And in the dust I saw a little margarine, I picked it up and I ate it. And then next day people went all around where they wanted to go. And I went to the American soldiers. I was a skeleton because I had the flag typhus. It was later. And they gave us Nescafe, for example. Since then, when I hear Nescafe and everything they gave us, the Americans, yeah.